Hello my loves, today we're going to be reviewing the Conspiracy palette and I am so excited to show you guys how I got this look. I'm going to be talking about my experiencing with trying to get the palette. I'm going to be doing some swatches for you guys and of course I'm going to show you how to get this look. So if you guys are ready, let's just go ahead and get started. Okay guys, so before we even start to get to play with this, I'm super excited. I did want to go ahead and show you guys the packaging of the palette as well as some live swatches. I've seen some reviews so far and they aren't doing live swatches, which I don't know if that's just not a thing anymore, but me personally, I love to see a live swatch of something, so I'm going to be doing that for you. So here is the palette in all its glory. So as you guys can see, it's got that really nice spiral, and then of course it just says Conspiracy in gold lettering across the palette. I'm so excited for this, I can't even tell you guys. I got this 2 days ago and I haven't played with it because I'm like, I'm not going to touch it until I actually review it, so I'm just so excited to do this right now. So you go ahead and open it from the sides, and there she is. Okay, so after you take it out of the box, this is what the palette looks like. I'm sorry for my nails in advance. I wanted to get them done, but I was like, no, this is way more important. People aren't going to really care about my nails. They just want to see the palette. So you see the spiral goes all the way around, even down to the sides of the palette. And I've kind of already propped this open to make it easier for myself, but the magnets on this are really good. Well, they're not magnets, but they're the clips, and it kind of has like a magnet thing on here, I feel like, because they open up so well. Like, you know, it's not like your elementary school diary where it doesn't open up too well. Like, it's nice and sturdy. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and open her up. And this is what she looks like. So just trying to get a little closer so you guys can see. So I try to put this up to my camera so you guys can see the logo on the mirrors, but on this side you do have Jeffree Star's logo, and then over here you have Shane Dawson's new logo, and I think those are really cool little details that make the palette so incredible. So let's go ahead and get into swatching the palette. I am so excited to do this for you guys. So we've got so many colors in this palette, and I think I'm just going to go row by row because I have a really skinny, flimsy arm. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the top row, then the middle, and then the last row. So these are the swatches. I don't know how I'm feeling about them so far. Of course, swatches are always different from the way that they apply to the eye. So I think they just look a little patchy, but again, they may apply way differently on the eye. Nonetheless, these colors are incredible. So this first silver one is Ranch. Then the pink one is My Pills. This really pretty transition shade is Tanacon. Then you've got Diet Root Beer, Just a Theory, and Spiraling. So let's go ahead and do the second row and see what we think about those. So this first green shade is Conspiracy, which I love the pigment on this one. Second one is Pigment, of course. I think it's really nice to be a pink. The next one is Food Videos, and with yellows it's really hard to perfect them. Now when I was swatching this one, it felt just a little like gritty, but I will tell you the rest of the shades feel incredible. Same thing for Trisha, which is this really bright pink. That's kind of like a duochrome. It was a little gritty, but the color payoff was incredible on this one, as you guys can see. Then we've got Cheese Dust, which is this really nice orange shade, and then the last shade is Flaming Hot. Alright guys, so this is our last row here. These appear to be more of the cool shades. So the first one is very pigmented. I'm really loving this one. I've never played with a shade like this. This is called What's the Tea? Then of course that really beautiful silver shade is the most pigmented out of all of these. This is the shade Diet Cola. Then you've got this really pretty purple shade that's called Not a Fact. Next is Sleep Paralysis, which is also like a duochrome. It's really beautiful. Then you've got Illuminati, and then this black is just everything. It's really hard to perfect it black and get it super, super black, so I think this one is awesome. This is the shade My Rides Here. Okay, so those are all the shades. I can't say it. Okay, those are all the shades swatched. I am very impressed by the quality of them. I don't know if it's because my arm was wet. I was trying to dry it each time, but I felt like each time we were swatching, it would just get better and better. But we're going to go ahead and play with it and see how it performs on the eyes, because that's the most important thing. I did want to show you guys how my palette looks after swatching it. It does have a little bit of fallout, but nothing too crazy. And of course you do lose the pattern, which I think that was one of the coolest things of this palette, but of course it's not going to stay on there forever. Let's go ahead and put this on our eyes and see how it performs. Expose, 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 exposed. Okay, so I really have no idea what kind of look I want to go for today. I kind of want to do something neutral. but this palette is also inspiring me. Sorry, taking this little cover off. This palette is also inspiring me to try something different. I really want to play with food videos. I think this color is just so cool. It's not a color you see often, so I think I want to try and dip into this one and this one at the same time. I'm kind of really being drawn to this little pattern here. It could be because I'm wearing a yellow sweater and I've got purple nails. I don't know, but I think this is what I'm going to try and play with today. Plus, it looks very fall appropriate. Okay, so while I apply the makeup, I will tell you guys about my experience with purchasing the palette and how I got a palette so quickly. But I guess first I should tell you guys what color I'm dipping into. Whoa! Okay, so fallout on this is kind of really bad. That's Tanacon, and I just dipped my brush in there like maybe twice. So there's that. Let's see how it looks. Wow, okay. I don't know if you guys can see this on camera because this color is a little similar to my skin tone. I try to put a lighter concealer color on so you guys can see like payoff just on a brighter surface, I guess. Oh, that's blending out really nicely. Again, I hope you guys can see. I'm like trying to hold the palette mirror and like trying to make sure you guys can see at the same time. This would have been way cuter had I had the pig mirror, but we're not gonna talk about that. Actually, we are gonna talk about that. Okay, so I'll go ahead and talk about my experience with trying to get a hold of the palette. So I normally do not work on Fridays at my job, but I had my schedule changed, so I worked on a Friday, which was November 1st, and at my job, November 1st is a very busy day. I work in an apartment complex, so with it being the 1st, everyone's rent's due, and I was like, I don't care. Like, I set an alarm for 11:55. I was like, I'm gonna make a trip to the bathroom. I'm gonna stay in the bathroom until I check out for my palette. So I set my alarm, and I like ran to the bathroom before anyone tried to hand me a check, and I sat there and I waited for the page to load. Now the page loading took a while. It kept saying like, come back, it's not 12 o'clock yet. So I just had to sit there until it was 12. And like right when I saw my phone hit 12 o'clock, I was like, refresh the page, and it's like half of the collection loaded, but half of the collection did not load. So the things that I really wanted to get was pretty much the entire collection, like anything I could get my hands on, because I knew it was gonna be you know, a product that would sell out pretty quickly. So I was just like, as long as I get the palette, and I really wanted Shane Glosson, I think that's the most important thing that I would want. So I, you know, sat there, and then I put Shane Glosson in my cart, and then I eventually, after refreshing the page so many times, I got to put the palette in my cart. So that alone, I would say, took about 10 to 15 minutes to do that, of refreshing and trying to make sure it was back up, refreshing. And then after about, I would say 30 minutes later of me trying to check out, it was like loading, like, you know, I'll take you to the checkout page in a minute, load. It said Shane Glosson had been sold out. So I was really upset about that. I debated if I should go back and try to go back and add a different product, but I was like, no, I'm gonna like fuck it all up if I like go back. I just might as well like check out. At least I have the palette. Like, I'm just gonna do it that way. So I waited and nothing happened, and I was like, I cannot just not get this palette. So I went on my phone, and I was like, okay, so I had the Jeffree Star site up. That's where I originally started. And then I pulled up Morphe on my phone. So I pulled up Morphe site, and same thing. I tried to add Shane Glosson, sold out. And then I finally got a hold of the palette, and I was like, I'm going to check out on these two platforms. Like, it's either going to be on Morphe site or it's going to be on Jeffree Star's site. Like, I'm going to get it. So Jeffree site just kept crashing, and it never took me to the full checkout page. And then so I finally got to check out on Morphe, and I got to put in my credit card information and everything. After like 45 minutes to like 50 minutes had passed by now, I put in my credit card information, and it was just loading. And I was like thinking like, oh my god, did I put my credit card information too quickly? Because I'm like, you know, antsy or whatever, and like, did I not put it in correctly? And I was gonna say my card's declined and I'm not gonna get it. I'm like having a full anxiety attack like at my job. And like, it's just loading, and then I look at the number again. I'm like, no, this is right. So then I'm like going on to Twitter. I'm nervous to like minimize the page on my phone. I'm like, fuck it, like I don't know what to do. Like, I'm so antsy, my anxiety is so high. So I like minimize the page, and I'm like looking on Twitter, and it's like Jeffree's like, you guys broke the internet. And I'm like, oh god. And I'm like, you know, happy about it, whatever, but I'm just like all I care about right now is checking out and getting my palette. Okay, so the next shade I'm gonna go in with is Diet Root Beer. So yeah, I was like, oh, I'm not getting this palette for sure. And I checked back again, and then Jeffree was like, I can't even remember what time I checked back, because I just felt like the day kept going by like so slow and so fast at the same time, because I was just so nervous. Like, I've never been so excited for a palette in such a long time. Like, I think the last time I was this excited about a palette was probably like the Jaclyn Hill palette. Like, that's the last time that I was like antsy, like trying to like check out, and like the site kept crashing and it was like horrible. But I am such a big fan of like Shane, and I just started to love Jeffree. As you guys know, I have a video up of my my first interactions with Jeffree Star, which weren't incredible. But to be fair, I kind of started it, so I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, I have been in love with the docuseries, just watching the whole thing. So as soon as I got the date again, I was like, set the alarm, like, I'm getting this, like, I don't care what I have to do, I'm gonna get my hands on this. So anyway, I think by the time like 5 o'clock-ish rolled around, I got off of work at 6. I was like, I don't think I got it. Like, I called my husband and I was like practically in tears. I was like, look, I'm on Morphe's page and the site just says it's loading, it's trying to take my payment, it's not gonna take it, I'm not gonna get it. And my husband has been watching the whole documentary series with me, so he knows how bad I wanted this palette. And he was just like, well, can't you leave work and go to the Morphe store? And I'm like, okay, first of all, why didn't I think about going to the Morphe store? Like, I know someone that works at the mall, like I could have had someone go and buy this palette for me, but I'm like, it's already 5 o'clock. Like, it launched like, you know, 5 hours ago. There's no freaking way that, like, you know, it's gonna be available. There's just no way. And then I told my husband, I'm like, you know what, I don't think it's gonna happen. So my husband, being the sweetheart that he is, went to the Morphe store and got me this palette. So I was just like in tears when he called me. He's like, guess what? I got the palette. And I was like, oh my God. But I was like, but did you get Shane Glosson? Like, did you get, what else could you get? And he was like, nothing else was available. It was just the palette and then the Shane lipstick, which I think the lipstick is cute and all, but I personally have very wrinkly lips. So like the metallics don't look incredible on me. So I was like, no, it's fine. Like, I got the palette. That's the thing that I wanted the absolute most. So that's how I got my hands on this palette the same day that it launched. I think I checked my, and then after, you know, he bought it, whatever, I closed the site and I was like, you know what, I never got it. And then I just checked my emails just to check it, because, you know, I've got like 10 jobs. So I checked my emails to just check on regular other things, and then Morphe sent me the confirmation that I actually did get the palette. I ended up getting the palette, I want to say like at 3 o'clock or something, and I was like, oh, like I never got the confirmation. You know, like usually when it takes your credit card information, it's done loading, it takes you and it's like, congrats, you bought it or whatever, and it gives you a confirmation number. I never got that, but apparently I already bought it. So then I had to call Christian back and I'm like, we have a problem. Like, my payment went through. And he's like, what do you mean? I was like, I don't know. Like, it never took me, you know, to the confirmation page, but it went through. And so now I had 2 palettes, and he's like, what do I do? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, just do me a favor, like call Morphe and see if you can cancel it. Like, if one more palette can go back online, like I'm sure anybody in the world would appreciate another palette being back online and they can pay for it. And he's like, okay. So we called Morphe, and Morphe was like, I'm so sorry, like you can't do that. Like, when your palette comes in, what you can do is you can return it to the store or you can ship it back. And I was like, okay, like, I mean, it is what it is. I have 2 palettes. I felt like crap about it, but I'm like, you know, whatever. When it comes in, like, I can either just return it or try to sell it, whatever. And so I like made this Instagram video, and one of my friends, my coworker, she's like, I will buy this palette from you. And I was like, okay. She was so happy. She was so excited. It made me really happy to, like, you know, give that to her. It was just a really fun thing to like see myself and like everyone else be so like excited about a palette like this. Like, and this person that I know like doesn't even wear makeup that often. Like, I think she just does normal basic stuff, and I do normal basic stuff too, just because of our job. I mean, I don't know, maybe outside of work she wears like crazy colors, but I know a whole bunch of other people that like don't even wear makeup, and they're like, I probably will only put 1 shade on. But it's just trying to support Shane and Jeffree and like all of that love, and like, I don't know how to explain it correctly, but it just makes my heart so freaking happy. I don't know if it's coming off that way, but this palette is like really a game changer. It's just incredible And it sounds kind of silly because it's a makeup product, but I don't know. It makes me really, really happy. And like the fact that my husband like watched the documentary with me, I don't know, I'm just getting really emotional. Okay, anyways, let's continue to do this stuff. I accidentally got Trisha right here, so I'm trying to blend her out. But this is what Tanacon and Diet Root Beer look like right now. I think it looks really nice. So let's continue to apply more shades. I think I actually do want to apply a shimmer. I might apply Just a Theory, but first I'm going to go into that really pretty purple shade, which is Not a Fact. And I'm just going to put this kind of as a liner in like the outer corner of my eye. Hoping you guys can see that. I think this color is coming off so nicely. I was scared that this was going to come off really patchy, and I was scared that these palettes or these shadows would have fallout. That's why I didn't do my base. I just kind of did eyebrows and everything, but I haven't noticed any fallout at all. So again, so that's what I'm saying. Like, you could have all the fallout in the world in the pan, but it's all about how it performs on the eye. I don't know if the color payoff is coming out on camera, but this is so gorgeous. Like, I kind of think this is my favorite shade out of the whole palette. Because in the pan it looks really burgundy, but it's actually coming off as like a really bright purple. Okay, so to brighten this look up just a bit, I think I'm going to go in with the shade Just a Theory here. And I'm going to use a brush instead of my finger because I actually have a business meeting to go to, so I don't want to be too extra than I already am by adding yellow in here. Alright, then I'm just going to top off more of Not a Fact over because the glitter did seem to go out a little more than I wanted to. Probably because I'm using a brush again and not my finger, so I don't have as much control on where the glitter particles go. Okay, so the last step I'm going to do, actually I think I'm going to do my base first because I want to clean all this up. So I'm going to do my base and everything, and I will be right back. Okay, so I'm back, and I'm glad I did everything else aside of my base just because I wanted to wrap this look up because I know I can talk so much when I'm excited about something. So everything's pretty much done. I already set my face with the Jeffree Star Setting Spray, which if you guys haven't tried that, it smells incredible. The only thing that I need to do is do the under eye shadow and then put some mascara on, and I already fucked up. Because of a force of habit, I did put a little bit of highlighter in the inner corners of my eye. I'm so sorry. I put a little bit of translucent, translucent powder to try to mattify it, but I'm still gonna put the yellow shade on top. So again, I'm sorry. I'm just gonna put it on top, and hopefully you guys still kind of get a feel for the shade payoff. Okay, so before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and finish off my under eye area, and I think I'm just going to be very simple about it because this is kind of looking a little much, but also, I don't know. Actually, it's not too bad. I think it looks really nice, but I still think I'm going to do a safer color for my under eye area. So I think I'm just going to take the shade Tanacon again and place that in my lower lash line. Alright, so I'm just going to apply mascara, and then we will pop Food Videos in the inner corner. Okay, and if you don't remember, this is what the shade Food Videos looks like. So I'm just going to take a small flat brush and pop that in the inner corners. Oh my god, I'm in love. I don't know if you guys can see that, but that is just so gorgeous. Okay, this one does have a little bit of fallout on the face, so just be careful with this one. I love it. I love it so much. Okay guys, so this is the final look with the Conspiracy palette. I'm gonna try and zoom in just a little so you guys can see. I think everything blended out so nicely, and the colors blended out perfectly with one another. I am completely obsessed. Okay guys, and that is my review on the Conspiracy palette. I am just so happy with this. I want to know your guys' thoughts. However, I want to know how you thought the colors played off, what colors you would have picked to try out, and if you guys got a hold of any of the products with this collection. I'm so happy. I don't know what else to say besides I'm so happy with everything. Again, I just haven't been so excited for a palette in such a long time, and this really inspired me to play with other colors aside of putting a transition on my shade or on my lid every day and just calling it a day. So yeah, let me know what you guys plan on getting with the relaunch. If you guys did order something, let me know what you got. I'll leave some really informative stuff in the description box below, so make sure you check that, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye.